When the sad news came from the South Korean military environment, BTS fans around the world were shocked. 2 BTS members, Jimin and Suga, reportedly cried after hearing the military's official statement regarding Jungkook's bullying case. However, what exactly is going on behind this case? Why was this event so emotional that both idols were unable to hold back tears? The day began, as usual, but the world of K-pop fandom was suddenly rocked by hard-to-accept news. Jungkook, the youngest member of BTS, is reportedly being treated at a military hospital after falling victim to ill treatment from his seniors. This information came to light after the military finally gave the long-awaited clarification to the public. However, instead of providing clarity, the statement actually opens up new wounds and muddies the atmosphere. Jimin and Suga, who is also currently serving in the military with Jungkook, are reportedly in a difficult position after hearing the news during an internal military meeting. The two were said to have been unable to hold back their tears. The question is, what exactly was the content of the statement on the part of the military that made both so shaken? Jungkook, known as the Golden Magnet for his all-round talent, is currently serving as a cook in his military unit, a role that is far from the glitter of the stage, but he still lives with full responsibility. However, behind the scenes, it is revealed that he has been the victim of mistreatment from his seniors, which includes verbal bullying to psychological violence. The South Korean public and international fans immediately strongly condemned the action. However, what really sparked the emotion was the statement of the military, who seemed to underestimate this case. In a press conference, a spokesman said that this situation is part of the normal dynamics of the military hierarchy. This statement, instead of easing anger, provoked a wave of sharp criticism. The public questioned how it was possible for a system that was supposed to protect its members to actually be the scene of a culture of bullying. Jimin and Suga's reaction to this statement is proof of the seriousness of the situation they are facing. Both are known as figures who have always maintained their professionalism, just on stage and in private life. However, in this moment, they showed a deep human side. A source close to them revealed that Jimin looked very emotional after hearing Jungkook's news. She can't stop thinking about how Jungkook, who was always cheerful and hardworking, had to deal with such treatment, the source said. Meanwhile, Suga, who is known to be more calm and introspective, is also unable to hide his emotions. It's not just about Jungkook, Suga said in a conversation with a top military official, as reported by local media. It's about how the system is constantly hurting people who are supposed to be protected. BTS fans, known as ARMY, immediately stepped in. Social media was flooded with hashtags, such as #Justice for Jungkook and #ProtectOurBTS. Calls for military reform in South Korea have intensified, with many calling for an end to the hierarchical system that allows such abuse. However, amid this storm of criticism, there is also a profound question: how could Jungkook have been injured so far in the absence of preventive measures? Does this mean that there is a systemic failure in protecting individuals, even when they are public figures with great influence, with increased media and public attention? The military is now in a difficult position. They have promised to investigate the case in depth, but many are skeptical of the results. History shows that cases of bullying in the military are often hidden or perceived as normal. The latest official statement released in the evening only made matters worse. They stated that there is no hard evidence to support the claim that Jungkook was the victim of serious bullying. This statement sparked widespread outrage, as many saw it as an attempt to blame the victim rather than solve the problem. With Jungkook now hospitalized, his future in military duty is a big question mark. Will he return to his unit? Or is there a possibility that he will be granted a special exemption due to his health condition? Meanwhile, Jimin and Suga, despite the difficult situation, are reportedly determined to continue supporting Jungkook. In a letter sent to BTS management, the duo called for the company to take firm steps in supporting their members who are facing difficulties. However, the question remains, is this enough to change a system that has been in trouble for a long time, or will this case be just one of many cases lost in the archives of time? This story, although full of pain, is also a reminder of the power of solidarity. BTS is not just a music group, they are a family that supports each other in any situation. And although they are currently in different places, their love and support for each other remains an inspiration to millions of people around the world. However, the public is now waiting. Will justice be done for Jungkook? And will the tears of Jimin and Suga become a catalyst for real changes in the South Korean military system? Only time can answer. While the public is still grappling with emotions after hearing the news of Jungkook's condition, the latest statement from the military adds to the flames of anger. In an interview with local media, an official military representative stated that the incident that befell Jungkook was part of an adaptation process that often takes place in a strictly hierarchical environment, such as the military. In the military, hierarchy is inevitable, and this kind of interaction is often seen as part of the formation of a soldier's character, the spokesman said in a dismissive tone. This statement sparked a wave of protests not only from BTS fans, but also from human rights activists and the general public who have long criticized the toxic culture in South Korea's military system. Many questioned, can Jungkook's treatment, including verbal bullying and psychological pressure, really be considered part of an adaptation process? Reports suggest that Jungkook was often humiliated in front of his peers by his seniors, and even his duties as a cook were often made fun of. An anonymous source from the same military unit told the media that Jungkook was often asked to work overtime for no apparent reason, often under physical and mental stress. He never complained, he was just trying to carry out his duties, but I could see the weight slowly destroying him, the source revealed. If this is an adaptation process, then we must ask, what is adaptation for? To be a victim, to lose dignity, exclaimed a human rights activist in an interview with one of the television stations. Hearing the statement that this incident was considered part of character building, Jimin and Suga's emotions reportedly peaked. In a closed-door conversation leaked to the media, Suga reportedly conveyed his views to a top military official. If this is how you shape character, then this system is failing. You don't form a character by breaking someone's heart, Suga said in an emotional tone. Jimin, on the other hand, was reportedly unable to hold back his tears upon hearing that Jungkook was considered a weak soldier by some seniors in his unit. Jungkook is one of the most powerful people I know, but even a person as strong as him wouldn't be able to survive in such a toxic environment, Jimin told one of the unit's officers. The controversy not only ignited the army's emotions, but also reopened a national discussion about South Korea's hierarchical military culture. The military system, which requires all Korean men to serve in the military for about 2 years, has long been criticized as often a breeding ground for a culture of bullying and abusive power. To say that this is part of adaptation is to affirm a culture of violence, a prominent human rights lawyer said in a media interview. If this is considered normal, then we are failing as a nation in protecting those we are supposed to serve and protect. Many have also highlighted the fact that Jungkook, despite being a world celebrity with great influence, can still be a victim in a system like this. If someone like Jungkook, who has a global platform, can experience this, imagine what ordinary soldiers who have no voice can experience, said one social media user reflecting the concerns of many. On Twitter, the hashtags #AbolishMilitaryBullying and #JusticeForJungkook are trending globally. Times from around the world have strongly condemned the military's actions and responsito the case, with many calling for systemic change to ensure that no other soldier has to go through a similar experience. A fan from the United States wrote, if Jungkook, who has always given love and dedication to the world, has to suffer like this, we should all stand up and demand change. However, until now, there are still many unanswered questions. How can this kind of bullying take place without any preventive measures on the part of the military? Why does the military seem to be trying to blame the victims instead of taking responsibility? Furthermore, will this be the moment where real change finally takes place? Or as in so many previous cases, will this just be a headline moment before it sinks to nothing? Amid all this, the army and the South Korean public remain hopeful that the case will serve as a catalyst for systemic reform. People believe that the fight for justice for Jungkook is not only about him, but also about creating a more humane military environment for everyone. However, the big question remains, will the military really listen, or will Jimin and Suga's tears and global anger pass without any real change?